War, one hopes it'll be better than this one.
The government's handling of child sexual abuse inquiries has done little to instil public confidence so far. Last month, the Goddard inquiry announced that they had accidentally and permanently deleted all of the victim testimonies submitted through its website over an 18-day period without anyone from the inquiry ever reading them. These victims deserve justice for their voices to be heard. Can the Prime Minister please tell the House what independent investigation has taken place to establish the cause of the data loss and to establish whether or not there was any criminality behind it?
Erased computer disks, a criminal cover-up by an inquiry. What will Cameron do about the subject of child sex abuse rings?
As for the specific issue that she raises, that is a matter for the inquiry. If there's further detail I can give her, I'll certainly write to her. But what matters is this inquiry is now up and running.
Whether the testimonies of UK institutional survivors of child abuse have been permanently deleted or not.
Well, the key finding of this report and the key message is that actually the extent, the scale of child sexual abuse linked to the family is much greater than we thought and much greater than is reported to statutory services. And we've been able to find this out because as Children's Commissioner, I'm able to request data from sources, statutory sources, that no one else can. So we've got data from every police force in the land, from the National Statistics from Children in Need, and also the largest survivors survey. Together that gives a first, unique, credible evidence of the scale. The statistics are worrying. They show that only 1 in 8 children actually who experience abuse will come to the attention of the statutory services. What it means is that there's hundreds of thousands of children that are experiencing child sexual abuse in the family. And whilst government has a very commendable record over recent years in tackling and identifying child sexual exploitation and indeed abuse in institutions, this is the next stage which really needs that spotlight and attention.
The head of a major British inquiry into decades of child sexual abuse said that allegations involving so-called people of prominence will be investigated, including politicians and figures from schools, councils and churches.
The sexual abuse of children within the Roman Catholic Church has been a matter of national and international concern for many years. We will also be conducting research into child sexual abuse in other faith communities, which will lead to further investigations in time.
She said the probe will focus on high-profile allegations of child sexual abuse involving members of the intelligence and security agencies, current or former members of Parliament, senior civil servants and government advisers. It will consider allegations of cover-up and conspiracy. The inquiry under the judge from New Zealand was set up last year amid public outcry after the death of entertainer Jimmy Savile 4 years ago, after which several people came forward to say he had abused them. The
scale of this inquiry is unprecedented. The 12 investigations will target failing institutions from the churches to local authorities to criminal justice, to the Foreign Office, and ultimately to Westminster itself and the alleged abuse by people of public prominence. The inquiry's chair today set out an ambitious programme of investigation.
To run 12 investigations in parallel represents an organisational challenge that is unprecedented in a public inquiry in the United Kingdom. We are determined to succeed.
One of the 12 will focus on 3 local authorities, Nottingham, Lambeth Council and Rochdale. That part will also include the conduct of the deceased MP Cyril Smith and how he and others allegedly got away with sexually exploiting boys at a hostel and Noel View school. Another will look into the failings of the churches, namely the Catholic Order of the Benedictines and the Church of England, in particular the Diocese of Chichester, which has been beset by allegations of sexual abuse. They will also examine notions of a cover-up to protect the former Bishop of Lewes and Gloucester, Peter Ball.
Well, I'm always very, very, very sorry.
He was jailed last month for abusing teenagers and young men over several decades. The inquiry will also focus on Medhamsley Youth Detention Centre in County Durham, A police investigation has so far recorded more than 1,200 claims of abuse there.
The apparent scale of abuse at Medhamsley demands a rigorous inquiry into how such allegations, if true, could have gone uninvestigated and the offending undetected for so long.
And then there's Westminster and high-profile allegations involving former and current MPs, civil servants, advisers and those in MI5 and MI6. Cover-ups and conspiracies will also come under the inquiry's fact-finding remit.
The resources that are going to be put into achieving what needs to be achieved, obtaining evidence, encouraging survivors and victims to come forward, I think it's an incredibly, actually I think it's an historic day.
Justice Goddard believes some of the dozen investigations may take 18 months, while others may take a lot longer.